There's a storm across the valley, the clouds are rolling in. The afternoon is heavy on your shoulders. There's a truck out on the 4-lane, a mile or more away. The whining of his wheels just makes it colder.
Community Forum is sponsored by the Easton Grange 196 and a friend of Yardley Wood Rink and the Easton Lions Club.
Welcome to Community Forum. I'm Priscilla Almquist-Olsen, your host, and it gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome one of Easton's treasures, Dave Clifton, who is head of the Tricentennial Committee. For those of you out there who don't know, the Town of Easton is celebrating its 300th birthday next year in 2025. And so Dave is going to give us an update on where things stand. So welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Priscilla. I appreciate the opportunity to join you on your show here at ECAT, Easton Community Access Television. Yes, we are very excited. There was a committee appointed by the Easton Select Board to plan and prepare since early 2023. And of course, we can see some of the results of that planning as we get closer. We're not too far away from the year 2025. Can you imagine, Priscilla, 1725 to 2025, 300 years of history here in the town of Easton. And we're excited about it. We have not only the opportunity to recruit volunteers to participate. Although we started with 10 people, we're going to have hundreds of people involved before all is said and done. And it takes 30 people just to run a parade. So it's exciting. We got something very special just about every month. And of course, as you can see on our poster, we have our logo.
Yep.
And Piper Janalis put that together, and that logo is on just about everything in town.
Yeah, and maybe we can have the camera focus on that. There you go. Okay, so we see, and it says Easton 300, celebrate with us in 2025. And then we have this design, and of course, this is the clock that Avery Lee Williams donated on Main Street. It's a huge, big standing clock. And who was the gal that designed this?
Her name is Piper Janalis.
Okay.
And she's an artist, and what a terrific job she did coming up with the logo. And of course, we thank Lee Williams for making that clock available in conjunction with the Easton Historical Society. And as a matter of fact, the late Lee Williams made the first official donation,
right,
$54,000, to give us some seed money to plan and prepare for this celebration, because it takes a lot of money, takes a lot of volunteers, and of course, Priscilla, the world's getting a little crazy, and it's so important that we celebrate. And here in the town of Easton, all the residents, and there'll be activities for people of all ages. So we're looking forward to celebrating.
And it's a big deal. 300 years is a long time. We were part of the first colony, Bay Colony. And but what people, I don't know if people realize that the oldest gravestone here in Easton is 1694. So there were people residing here with the Native Americans, Indians, in the before 1694. So it wasn't until 1725 that the town of Easton was incorporated. So we take that as our birth date, but realizing that we were here long before that. So anyway,
It,
but tell us a little bit about what's the first thing that's going to happen, something in January, right?
There's going to be a kickoff event on January 4th, and that will be at Stonehill College. We thank Amanda Hurley and Anne-Marie Taylor for being the coordinators of that first event. It'll be an indoor festival, and of course it'll be at the Sally Blair Ames facility on campus. We thank Father John, the president of the college, for opening up the doors of the college in terms of doing a kickoff event.
Well, after all, Stonehill is part of Easton's history, isn't it?
It certainly is.
And then the estate was Frederick Lothrop Ames's estate originally, and the big mansion, which is now Donahue Hall, was the former home of Frederick Lothrop Ames and his family. So
they're not only doing the first event, Priscilla, but they're also doing the closing event, which will be the anniversary gala scheduled for December 27th. And again, it'll be in the Sally Blair Ames facility. It's going to be a formal dress up event. Tickets will go on sale beginning in January of 2025. It'll be the last event, and it'll be an exciting event. Not only music, but we'll be cutting a cake, and we'll be probably elaborating quite often about all the events that took place.
right. Now, what can people expect at Stonehill at the January event?
Well, there's going to be a lot of activities planned for people of all ages. There'll be refreshments, there'll be music. It'll be an opportunity. It's really not the very first thing that's going to happen, because we're going to have something special on New Year's Eve at Oak Ames Memorial Hall. And we seem to be adding things as we plan and prepare. And it's a giant celebration. And we ask all the folks out there in the town of Easton, we certainly thank you for your generosity in donating so far. But we still ask you if you could donate to the celebration, or maybe you'd like to give your time, your talent, your ideas, your resources to help make this a giant celebration.
Now, if people want to volunteer, what's the website that they can go to?
Well, it's a very simple website. It's www.easton300.org. And it'll bring you up to date on all the things that are happening. And Priscilla, I wanted to say that we got a very special theme. And that theme is bringing families and community together to celebrate 300 years of history.
Right.
This is not only the shovel town, but my gosh, they've done lots of things. I know that between the Historical Society and a gentleman by the name of Ed Hands, they can bring you up to date on all the history that happened here in the town of Easton to bring us where we are today.
And don't forget Hazel Varela, who's our other town historian. She has also an incredible amount of knowledge. And Ed Hands, too. The two of them are just Easton's treasures, aren't they?
And then, of course, you throw in Ken Michaels, the president of the Historical Society. And certainly would like to have them all involved in this giant celebration. But the second event is going to be the Easton 300 Art and Cultural Festival.
Yes, and I've signed up for that committee.
And
Joni Lundgren is the chair.
You have signed up already. Okay,
Oh, yes.
Would you raise your right hand? I'm only kidding. The fact is that between Joan Lundgren and Diane Lasati and people like yourself, that's going to be a terrific celebration. That's going to involve the artist. This is a great community when it comes to enjoying the arts.
Yeah, and I'm sure Joan Lundgren and I are both on the board of the Shoaltown Cultural District, so I'm sure that all the members of that board will be participating.
And I think that'll be important. And of course, that'll be from 11 to 4 p.m. There'll be refreshments, there'll be some outdoor activity as well as indoor activity. And we thank the sponsor of that, the Northeastern Savings Bank. And they also have a lot of employees that want to donate their time, not just funds, but they want to donate their time to help Joan out and Diane.
And what's the date on that?
And that date is April 26th, 2025. And
the location?
And the location will start off at the Oak Ames Memorial Hall. It may spread to the Ames Free Library, the Queeset House. And it's going to be interesting as we have to rope off the area. And there'll be issues coming up that where do we park, those kinds of things. But it's going to be terrific to celebrate the arts. And those are the first two events that are going to take place. And then on June 14th, which is Flag Day, we're going to have a major celebration. And that's going to be not only a family picnic at Oliver Ames High School on the field, but we also at 4 p.m. will be having a flag ceremony. And I thank certainly Adam Gunn for coordinating that. He's involved as a veterans agent in another town and has been active also in Easton, and he lives here in the town. But we're going to have a 42-piece band, Priscilla, that's going to join us for that flag ceremony. We're going to bring in 2 giant flags, and it takes 30 people to hold the flag.
Wow.
We thank the Lions Club. We thank the veterans. We're going to have a recognition for all the veterans in town, those that are with us today and those who are no longer with us. We want to make sure that we give them the appropriate recognition. And how are we going to do that? Not just with the band and the Armed Forces medley. We'll recognize all the branches, but we're going to have a flyover the field, and that'll be a nice salute to all the veterans in the town. The picnic's going to be 5 to 8 p.m. There's going to be a concert from 7 to 9 p.m. We thank the Bank of Easton for sponsoring those events. And then we're going to have a giant fireworks display at the same site. And that'll begin at 9 o'clock with music as we celebrate the red, white, and blue, the American flag on Flag Day. But it'll be exciting, and we thank Alex Pyres, former resident of town, went to school here.
Graduated Oliver Ames in 1969.
That's right. You remember that?
Well, I do, because he had a huge party for all graduates of Oliver Ames in the 1960s. So I graduated in 1960, and I was there, and friends in 61, 62, all the way up to 69 were there. It was a wonderful, big reunion. He owns 2 restaurants, and he had food trucks coming up with his chefs, and the food was magnificent, and there was all kinds of beverages, alcoholic.
I understand the family has a hardware store in town.
Well, that's his brother, Alex's brother, Tony, had one. It's no longer there, but he and Beth have a real estate business. I'm sure people have seen the signs, and they've been really wonderful supporters, the whole family of Easton, and Alex especially. He's a lawyer who won a big tobacco case, I believe, and he owns a bank, and he's become very successful.
Wow.
And his grandfather...
Thank you, Alex Pyres, on behalf of our committee and the town of Easton, for your generosity.
And he's he's the grandson of Portuguese immigrants. And we have a lot of people who've become successful in that way. I'm the granddaughter of Swedish immigrants and became an attorney. So we have a lot of, and we should be celebrating immigrants. I'm sure we will. But tell me one thing, what's the name of the band that's going to be playing?
The band that's going to be there for the flag ceremony is a band from the South Shore. They call them the South Shore Concert Band. And I saw them at a festival, and I thought they would be terrific to play military music and to celebrate the red, white, and blue, the American flag. They not only did it, but they did it at a terrific price.
Yeah,
That's
great.
affordable for us to make happen. So you'll see buses pulling up, and you'll see a lot of things happening on that particular day. And we thank the Easton School Committee and our superintendent of schools for their cooperation in us being able to use the school property for this major event. So, folks, when you talk about our theme, bringing families and community together, we're going to have quite a crowd.
And when you think about that bonfire at the end of the day, I mean, that is something most kids would love to see.
Let me also thank Jessica Zimmerman. She's going to coordinate the family picnic. And we're going to have food trucks there, folks, in order to provide food and refreshments for the crowds that will be in attendance.
Now, is that food going to be complimentary, or are people going to have to pay?
It's going to be a giant crowd because of non-residents. We may do dessert as a complimentary thing for folks, and especially the kids.
Nice.
The bonfire, which will be later on, will be a different thing. That'll be mostly a local crowd. But I did want to thank again the Bank of Easton for sponsoring the flag ceremony, the family concert, and the concert on the bandstand will be from 7 to 9 p.m. And it sounds exciting, and we've only mentioned just a few events, but
we're only halfway through the year.
Yeah, and I also, Priscilla, want to thank our marketing group, headed up by Mike Good. Not only have we done a terrific job promoting the celebration, whether it be the lawn signs, that would be these signs here that you can see, but we're going to be putting up 130, maybe 150 pole banners that'll be scattered throughout the main street. They'll be available on Center Street. They'll also be up at 5 corners going up 106. When you come to town on that particular year, you're going to know something's going on because they're going up in the first week of December of 2024, and they'll come down in December, weather permitting, in December of 2025. So people that bought a pole banner for $300, the funds go towards a celebration. The $300 is a gimmick that goes along with the celebration, but it's amazing how many people have bought into these banners. We thought we'd have 60.
And does the buyer get that banner back at the end of the year?
Yes, they do. We can't guarantee what condition that'll be in after a year, but they're vinyl, two-sided banners. You can see them coming and going. And certainly the Oliver Ames High School colors with the orange and black, you'll be able to see them from a distance. I've been to some other towns, and I watched their celebrations, and I looked at their banners, not nearly as many as we have, and they don't stand out as bright.
Well, but you know, orange and black is the preferred signs for political signs. And most people running for office don't realize that.
And it's also used in public safety.
Exactly, and there's a reason for that. And so either the orange and black or the yellow and black, those are the two that really stand out and that's why safety signs are those colors. Yep.
And of course, you'll find all the lifeguards wearing orange. That's so that you can find them quickly.
Right.
But again, June 14th, Flag Day, will be a very special day here in the town of Easton. And of course, the next item is going to be the parade. And originally it was scheduled for July 4th, Priscilla, but we changed it so that we could pick up more bands and drum and bugle corps and floats, and lots of people go on vacation on July 4th. So we're going to have the parade. It'll be a giant parade on July 12th. Parade lineup is 9 a.m. and the parade, of course, begins at 10 a.m. It'll go to about 12. I thank Corey Ahonen, the former veterans agent here in the town of Easton. He's going to be coordinating the parade. He's done a lot of parades in the town of Easton over the years.
Really?
And mostly smaller parades. This is going to be a big one. And it takes lots of volunteers to make it work. I met with the parade committee last night, and we're going to have 5 or 6, maybe 7 bands. We're going to have drum and bugle corps. We're going to have floats. We're going to have horses. We're going to have motorcycles. We're going to have all the fire departments, thanks to our police chief, our fire chief, Justin Alexander. And of course, our police chief, Keith, is going to make sure that we're covered in terms of security.
Yes, Keith Boone is a great chief, and he'll take care of us.
Oh, they're terrific, and they both have a great sense of community.
Yes.
And that's what I like about the town of Easton. I can feel the camaraderie. I can feel people wanting to get together, and a great sense of community.
We are blessed that we have 2 chiefs, fire and police, who are dedicated to the community and to all the residents, and they're there to be helpful. And I'm not surprised that they're contributing.
How right you are, Priscilla. And I also like to thank Dave Fields, the director of the Department of Public Works. Not only is he going to put banners up, but 150, and then they got to take them down. So we thank DPW for their efforts.
And I'm sure they're putting waste baskets too all over the place.
They take care of the trash and the cleanup
Yep.
and all the stuff that has to be done. But I have found that all the town department heads have been so cooperative in terms of wanting to see the community come together.
Well, you know, they're true professionals also. Not only do they have their heart here in Easton, but they're real professionals. So we are really blessed and very grateful.
And hats off to the Easton Select Board. They did a terrific job of selecting department heads. I lived in another town nearby for 40 years. So in my 12 to 15 years I've been here in the town of Easton, I thought that the town of Sharon was outstanding, but having run their 250th anniversary celebration, I'm so impressed with all the volunteers we have here in the town. And rather than reinvent the wheel, I think the celebration, they thought that getting me involved and using some of that experience and any mistakes that I made, I can correct for this celebration.
Well,
But I'll
Dave,
tell you,
and let me just wait. I'm going to interrupt you because you deserve so much credit and so many kudos. Your work has been not just outstanding, but beyond measure fantastic. And you have no idea how many people appreciate and tell me all the time, that Dave Clifton, he works so hard. He's done so much. It's amazing. And so I want to give you credit and the thanks of the town and the appreciation of many, many people whom you don't even know, but know the job that you've done. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
well, much appreciation, Phyllis, and I think I've said many times
I
that
think you mean Priscilla.
Priscilla.
Do you know how many people call me Phyllis? It's very common.
But that was a short version of saying Priscilla. But I'm as good as the people I surround myself with. And it's going to be the 100 people that get involved one way or another with the celebration. It's going to make the celebration work. And I'm honored to have the opportunity to work with the hard-working committee. Everybody's doing their job. And my vice chair. And of course, Dale Carister, he has been super. He's got that personality, and people don't say no to him. And we make a good team.
And he has endless energy, doesn't he? Yeah, he's done a fabulous job, and he's so committed to the community. He does so many things anonymously that you can not imagine. But I know about it, and I can tell you he's a true believer in volunteerism and supporting his community. So let's go on. We have about 5 minutes. Tell me, we're in July, but what comes next?
Well, we're going to have a pretty, I say, terrific block party. We've took it out of the center of town, and we're going to run the block party because it gets so big at the Governor Ames Estate. So right here on Oliver Street, the entrance, and we're working on the parking issues. But I'd like to thank Dan and his wife, Jamie Anderson, for coordinating this event. They got about 17 volunteers working with them. And you're going to have everything from food trucks to music to games and activities for kids. We're working on activities for the adults as well. I mean, it's going to be one terrific thing. ECAT doesn't have to travel too far to get to that site. And I have to say, Phyllis, you and I know this because Priscilla, we donate our time to ECAT, Easton Community Access Television. And Priscilla, it's great to see that they're not only covering our meetings, all the meetings in town government, all the sports events and activities, but they're going to be covering all the events that take place during the year. So hats off to ECAT.
Thank you, Dave. That's we work so hard. The people here are on a minute's notice, ready to provide that kind of television and broadcast. So tell me, what's after the Governor Ames Estate event?
Well, we're going to have a bonfire. That's going to be scheduled also at the high school, and that date is October 11th. In the morning, there's going to be an Easton 300 antique car show at Borland State Park.
Wow.
And that will be from 9 to 2 p.m. And of course, there'll be 300 antique cars that'll be participating.
My goodness.
There'll be refreshments, there'll be prizes, there'll be music, a great get-together. And it's not over, folks, because in the evening, we'll have the bonfire from 6 to 9 p.m. Thank you to the Easton Lions Club. They have 160 members, and they're going to be doing a barbecue to open to all the families in town. And that looks like it's going to be on the house for all the local families. So come on down, enjoy the music, and you can sit and look at the fire and think about all the activities that we had this year. And of course, it's not over there. The final event will be the anniversary gala. Let me not forget, on April 19th, we're going to have an Easton 300 Family Fun Day at Langwater. And of course, that's going to be sponsored by Vertec. It'll be hosted by the folks at Langwater Farms. There'll be hay wagon rides, there'll be music, there'll be fun and games. You can get some favorite ice cream. You can enjoy yourself. And that's what this celebration is all about.
And the semi-formal gala on December 27th is going to be the last hurrah for celebrating the 300th year. So, Dave, any parting words? We have a few seconds left.
My parting words would be to folks, this is an opportunity for you to enjoy the town of Easton. I know that Priscilla has worked very hard passing the word on to folks in town, that bragging about the good things that happen in the community. This is an opportunity to celebrate the good things that are taking place.
And also, don't forget, it's an opportunity for you to volunteer so that you can help make it happen and make it the great event that it will be.
So come and celebrate. Maybe you'd like to volunteer. Maybe you'd like to make a donation. I say to each and every one of you, thank you so much. Namaste. Enjoy the year 2025.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, be well.